should women or men do husband or wife duties when they're in a relationship? It's the boy Junior coming to you live right now on Wink Convo, and then we're having another episode today. I have with me Mr. Ken and Brother Michael. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, And you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Just smiling so I can know,
Always smiling.
you're ready for the topic and everything, right?
Yes.
Back and forth. No, don't agree on the same level. I know we're gonna have the discussion and all. So yeah, if you've tuned in, Wing Combo, we bring you best, relationship combos or talks, and then you show your mind. You tell us what you also feel on the topic. So the main topic for today is we're gonna talk about whether women or men will do husband or wife duties while you're in a relationship. So before you get married. So I don't know who want to start from me, but do you think we start with men? Okay, so you tackle men, you do women, then we combine to see the pros and cons on both sides. So maybe if you want to talk, if men are supposed to do husband duties while they are in a relationship with their lady or their woman.
I would say, for me, I think it's it's necessary, but you need to also know set your priorities, because when you're in a relationship, also it can lead to marriage, as the case may be for some cases, and if you're already doing what you need to do while you are married, during a relationship, I think it's a prep for you as a man, and also your expectation in marriage and what you should be doing. So you're already doing those duties, but there should be a line set up also, because firstly, like I said, most relationship from there can lead to marriage. So you have to know who this lady is, get to know her better, and also set your line, because there are some cases also you could do that, and the lady just taking advantage of you, as a guy, or as a man, So I think it's something doing it is not a bad thing, in my opinion, but you need to be careful. You need to set your priorities of, okay, how, when, and how, and get to know her. Make sure that, yeah, this is something that um, it's worth investing your
In the long
time,
term,
your resources, and also your money. But that's not a guarantee as well, because in most cases also you see the lady might show as if she's the kind of woman that you will get married to. As a man, you think, oh, and then at the end of the day, she will just jet off. So it's not a guarantee, but I think it's something doable. It's something a man can do, but they should be very um, cautious about it, and also draw a line, in how far you go, because you are dating, you're not married, so it's very thin line there. So that's my.
So would you advise your son to do that when he's in a relationship with somebody?
I will advise my son, but I will advise him based on how far he should go.
How far I should
How
go.
far he should go
And
based
your
on
daughter?
my daughter.
Yeah, so the daughter comes home with a guy and be like, "Hey, daddy, I want to marry this man."
Yeah, the same
And
thing.
tells you over the weekend, "I want to go cook, wash, clean the house, and all that." Well, how would you take it as a dad?
Also, I will advise my daughter based on what I I think is proper
Yeah.
at that time, and based on what she's also, because based on my question I will
Yeah.
get some response, and also, but I don't think it's wise for my daughter to go and be spending time in a guy's place. From my background, how my parents brought me up, and my family background, I don't think that's a wise thing.
Yeah.
I will advise my daughter to be more, careful of going to a man's place while dating, because I don't think it's a proper character to portray. So I'll advise her on that, but it's left for her to listen
Yeah.
because she's an adult. She can, but I'll just advise her on, not to do some things while in a relationship, But going to cook, I think that's you see, this thing also is a step, it's a stages thing, it's a stage thing
Yeah.
in relationship. It goes stage by stage. So, but for that cooking thing, washing clothes thing, I think is getting too far,
Intense, yeah.
So it's something you should, be very careful about, because you are not the wife yet. Because like I said, for me personally, I'll advise my daughter against that because the background I came from and how I've been raised up and my siblings also, so I will not encourage her in some house call that for her to be doing in the guy that is dating. So that's
Yeah, that's a good one. Let's move on to the big man himself. He's smiling. I know he's going to say, no, 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 no. Just do it and let's go.
You see, now the main subject here is duties, duties. So what does this duty refer to? You understand? Now in relationships, like in a place of a woman, like the question goes, should the woman perform those duties when they see things? So what are the duties that women do when they are married? So I see that as one of as one of the natural things that goes on in every relationships where the woman has to do a whole lot of stuff, and most cases for her to be accepted or to be in the eyes of a good wife material in the eyes of the man, including doing a whole lot of household chores like cleaning, running errands, and do all that is supposed to be done, as a woman, as a woman. But now here's the case, and like looking at the duties, where there are cases, where there are most cases where most women feel being used, especially in relationships where the woman has to, yeah, of course, sleep with the man as many times as he wants. You understand? That's also one of the duties as a wife is supposed to do in marriage, being submissive to your man. You need to. You cannot. You would have to be in the position to satisfy her sexually, and also to make sure that you live up to expectations. So all these duties, if a lady finds herself doing all this while she's not yet married, now if this thing goes on for a long period of time, and eventually the lady is not married to, or maybe not honored in a place of marriage, some feel that like they have been cheated on or maybe been abused. Those privileges that that she gave to the man couldn't cement that in a marriage. So I wouldn't actually advocate most women to actually to go the extra mile, to do all these duties just to please the man so that the man could get married. Because when you eventually don't get your opportunities, or if you're not honored, to be married to this man, then you feel being used. You understand? So you actually bring out all your treasures out. There are cases that in some cases you need to invest in cleaning, in cooking, and do all those things for the man. You understand? So when we are not yet married to the man, I would see that you need to be aware of all these consequences that could actually come. So that you could see that women have to actually be smart about it, not to go the extra mile. There's certain things that can be done. You can visit the man, but you don't be overexposed to certain things, or avail yourself too much for you to be used. Because yeah, a man always sees himself to be a king and to be honored and to be treated right, and that is good. But that doesn't take place more when you're not yet married to, because the more you put your resources into these things in the in the in the in the in the in the name of performing all these duties while I am married to this man, I don't think it is the right thing to do. So I would actually advocate that women out there to be more cautious in how they put their energies and resources into these duties of pleasing men. When they are not yet married. So they should watch out for all these things so that they don't find themselves in the wrong or places where we see a woman complain of such a unfortunate cases when they are not married to or certain cases of abuses. So women should actually watch out for that. Yeah.
Oh,
and
that's
and,
a
and
good
most
point.
most importantly, I will not advise my sister or I won't advise my sister or lady friend of mine to actually. But you see, most women sometimes when they are too much involved in the guy, they would like to go all ends. They would like to burn all bridges. They would like to walk on the walls of China or do all the things. Even go and get the best of the best for a guy so that they could eventually be accepted fully in this relationship. But I don't think you should do that all that. There's a limit that you can go. Play a very play the role as a woman in the relationship. That would actually get you the opportunity to be married. Then you can put in all your efforts. But when you are so much into that, I don't think it's something worth it. So women should actually be careful when it comes to that.
What about men? Because you're a man yourself, so
Great.
maybe your
I
son or you personally have you been in a situation
Great.
that
It's
that's too much.
it's just also the same goes out for the men. You understand? I wouldn't do that. Also, there's the stand that you would perform certain duties. Or maybe or invest. But you should be careful how you do it, and so that you don't actually feel that when something goes wrong, or if the relation doesn't end up in marriage, you won't feel betrayed or maybe being jilted, because the fact that you put your investment either in kind or cash or material in a woman doesn't guarantee that it will work. And even after marriages, it can break up, that kind of stuff. So think, invest wisely, and see that you don't cross certain borders. So that when 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 uh when the things that you expect, or like if you are too much into this, that could get yourself being hurt, or maybe feel that you're not being appreciated. You have to be careful about that. Because this is something that is actually it's one of the issues in society that people actually debate, not talking about all the time. Yeah, I won't do that. Yeah, because when I did in my previous relationship, I feel being abused or used. Yeah, I won't do that. So I will do it so that I will it to please the man. So both cases, the man and the woman should actually be cautious and choose rightly what to do and what not to do in relationships.
To know
If you are
your
married,
limits.
if you're married, then fine, this is what I'm supposed to do as a
Yeah.
man, or this is my duty as a man, and this is my duty as a woman, and then you do your rightful responsibility. But when you're not yet married, please, you need to be cautious of what you do.
Yeah, but the relationship itself leads to marriage. So if you don't do some
But
things,
not
why
all
are you?
relationships are actually then into marriages.
Yes,
So,
but then some, if you're lucky, on some percentage, you lead to marriage. And if you've not even started doing some of the things while you're in a relationship, you can't be able to execute it in marriage,
That's
right?
true,
Yeah,
true.
that's also from another point. Because then you can make somebody your personal project, but you know your limits.
Yeah.
Because you have to know how far you're going to go for the person and how far you're going to invest. That if it doesn't work out, the bookie had no go catch you. Yeah, that one is there personally. So yeah,
I would like to add this just
Yeah.
for our viewers that are
Yeah.
watching, so they should get a more understanding
Yeah.
of what we're discussing about. Because most of this thing we are talking about, it happens more in Africa culture.
Yeah.
So it's also good that we clear some facts about this. Because where we live, the society we live today is a different circumstances and situation,
Yeah.
because in Africa culture again is a different thing. So we also need to consider some things because in Africa culture, the culture, gives a lady that it puts a lady in a pressure, place, in a place of pressure to do some things, even while she is not married. The same thing goes for the for the men. But I will talk for the lady first. Because for the lady, when you are getting married to a man, you are marrying your whole family in some African cultures. So that's it puts the lady in a place of pressure to do those things even while dating the man to cook because they see that as a sign of a good wife. So that's the culture thing. So it puts the lady in that position, even though she doesn't want to do it. You see. So
But
also,
the lady is an adult, so you can decide.
yeah, but the culture
They're
puts you
doing
in that
something you
pressure
don't
because
like.
yeah, because you want to be
The perfect wife
yeah, and
for
again
their family
you
child.
want to respect the
Yeah.
culture, you want to respect
The
your
elderly
parents,
group, yeah.
you want to respect the man you are dating because so the culture also put them in that place.
Yeah.
So which also some of them is not their will want to do that, but the culture puts them there. So that is why sometimes it's in different circumstances. And for the men also,
Before you go to the men, because now I want to use that as example.
yeah.
So you are saying the culture whole part,
Yeah.
right? Right now you're in the Western world, you're living
Yeah.
here, so you're gonna have kids and all that. Would you try to focus them on that sector? Because you have seen different parts of the world, how they regulate. How are you going to cope with that? Because then you know that okay, if it's back home, it will be a different perception of the way they'll see you. But now in the Western world, you know how things also go.
Yeah.
There. So how are you going to cope with that if like you have kids and then they find themselves in that situation?
Definitely not. I will not let my kids to adapt the African culture
Yeah.
in terms of some things.
blend it, yeah.
Yeah, I will just take what I think is best here
Yeah.
and take what I think is best there and put it together
Okay.
and advise them based on my as a father.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it. So sometimes most people don't want to do something just because society pressure them to do it.
To do it, yeah.
And some of them do have that confidence and boldness to say no.
No.
Doesn't matter what society say, doesn't matter what culture say, I stand for this. So we need to also look in that area also for some of these ladies. And for the men also, the same culture, puts the men on pressure that
Pressure.
before you get married to
Should I can provide
this lady, you must provide a certain amount of XYZ for her. In some culture, in African culture,
Yeah.
some get to be kind or monetary aspects, some get to do with material things. You have to provide, that you are really able to take care of your daughter. So you see, so that mindset is there for some of these men. Even as they grow up, they see their uncle, their father, their neighbor. So they grow up with that mindset, So when they are doing it, they think it's normal. So that's why in some cases, when they do those things, the lady at a point, because life is progression, when the lady come to a certain age and you will now say, okay, this man is not the kind of man I want.
Yeah.
Because some of this lady,
come inside.
yeah, but some of this lady at the age of 20,
Yeah.
age of 19, this man started training them,
Yeah.
in school or in whatever trade they want to do, and most cases, I think I should say this, because it's happening a lot, especially in our world today, especially, more, in Africa, most men, for example, the man is not educated, and this lady is in school. So this man is doing his business or whatever he's doing, sponsoring this lady to school. And after everything, this lady graduated, get his degree, masters, whatever level of education. And the lady will now say, oh, he's not the kind of husband guy I want to date or marry, as the case may be, And because now she is now, but then the parents were poor or she doesn't have the money to further education. But this guy was there. She accepts this guy. So vice versa also. So it has happened a lot. So that is why it's a very delicate,
Yeah.
situation. That's why when you are investing or when you are doing anything, you need to also draw a line and also know, oh, although it's not something you foresee, it's not written on his head that, oh, is he going to be my husband or my wife? But there should be some engratia, there should be some like hold back. That's what I mean by engratia. There should be some hold back that, oh, this thing is getting too much. Don't let the love overwhelm you because you know yourself, but you don't know her. You only know her by mutual, understanding and communication. And like Michael said earlier on, the duty is also one of the duty is having sex. So that is just uh, by the way. So that does not keep a man or a woman. But the most important thing, investing in a lady and or a lady also investing in a man, it should be something that both both the female and the male should really look into more before they go all out, because you are dating, you are not married yet. If you are married, it's a very different thing. So in my opinion, it's something that just be careful, and also mind the way you put your resources in your relationship so you don't get hurt at the end of the day or get frustrated if something happened. So there should be a balance.
That's a good one. So I think the message I'll take from here is you should know your limits, right? Because if you invest in somebody, you want to make somebody your personal project, you should know how far you want to go before you take the different steps. So both sides don't really get involved or get hurt, which can lead to other things. So you out there, I know like people are in relationships, right? You take people as a personal project. You know how far you want to go. But from this discussion, I know a lot of you are also having personal thoughts or personal things you want to drop in the comment section. Make sure to do that on our social media platforms, on our YouTube, and also subscribe. From our two guys here, they really dealt the topic, talked about how it can be on different sides based on culture in different jurisdictions or different countries. But yeah, it happens. It's a very interesting topic and a deep one. If you really want to talk about it, we can talk about it for hours and we can't even come to a conclusion, But yeah, we're going to put it here. Make sure you follow us on our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Put in some comments on what you think about the topic. If you personally, as a man or a woman, would want to do the duties as a husband or do the duties as a wife. And then make sure you check us out and we'll catch you guys same time next week. Thank you very much. And we'll see you same time next week. Bye.